So this question says, my question is just about AI. At times, when you write, AI detector can flag it as AI generator or AI generated. What do we do? So my immediate response to this is AI is trained on texts written by humans. Now, unlike other detectors, for example, a detector for plagiarism checker, what it does is it compares with originality of work. So there's something to benchmark against, which is this is a work that has been written before. This has similar context. In fact, if it's possible that it's copied word for word. So in that instance, it's very, very clear that it was plagiarized. I think that's the word for it. But for AI generated text, what would be the comparison? Would you say, okay, this is the standard to which AI writes, so for that reason, any text that mimics this standard or use this punctuations, for example, some person says a long dash is mostly used by AI, which I find to be strange because many times most of the books I read that were quite old books, they write and they use long dash, and when I write, I learn to write following these styles that I've read over time, which includes long dash. That said, I think it's just for now, right? Until maybe some form of technology, or when those who model the distribution of AI writing compared to human, because AI was meant to mimic how humans write, right? So since it was meant to mimic how humans write, we humans who write, and of course when I mean write, like write from the depths of our hearts, expressing all our literary prowess, AI has learned to mimic our writing style. So for that reason, when we write, whatever AI detector tool is being designed now will just probably say you used AI, right? I think the only way you can identify if something is generated by AI is when there is a digital invisible watermark, right? I'm talking about the logo, so it's like a watermark. It's encrypted into the generated item. So for images, of course, they are generated pixels, right? Or there are pixels that are embedded into the generated image such that a detector can scan and look for that particular watermark and identify that yes, it is AI generated. But for text, yes, it's possible to include a digital watermark. I think I don't know how true it is, but there was this anecdote that says Elon Musk, whenever they made some announcement within the organization that was meant to be private, some staff members leaked those information, so they wanted to identify who was giving out those leaks. So for that reason, they sent the same message. Okay, they sent varied messages to different people, right? And it was the same message, but the only difference was that the space between some of the words were changed. Some words has one space, some words has two space, more like 1 and 0, something like that. It had some so in a way, each email that was sent included some form of spacing such that there was a digital ID attached to each email. So with that, once the leak happened again, they just had to just copy the leak from wherever it was and identify the spacing, and of course know that this is the spacing pattern we used for this particular employee, and that was where they identified who the leak was coming from. So for text written by AI, it's possible that companies like OpenAI or Google or Anthropics or whichever the name is will decide to include some form of digital signature. It's not impossible, it's actually possible to include some form of digital signature within this generated AI text such that it will be identified, or it will be identified with this particular image or this particular text, rather emphasis on text, was generated by AI. But here's the catch: they do not have any financial incentive to make them do that, because they can do it, and if they do, what happens is people want to make use of their tools, but they don't want people to know that they're using AI. Everyone wants to appear smart. So for that reason, if Google all of a sudden makes it possible to identify their AI generated text from their Gemini large language model, what happens is people will probably switch to the competition. The competition will promise you, oh, don't worry, anything you generate here, no one knows you generated it here. Everybody believes you're smart. So I think this answers it, which is, as much as you can, continue to write as well as you can, and then if it ever comes that you need to defend your writing, no problem, just come out gun blazing and defend your writing. And I think the most challenge will be for students, which is students who have been writing their essays in the past. For example, students who are in their third year, and there's a record of your first year and your second year essay. So all of a sudden, your third year essay, you are writing like Shakespeare. So it either means you got so good over the holidays and now you're back gun blazing, or someone or something else, helped you with writing that particular essay, which in this case will likely be an AI tool. I think I will stop here for now.